All right, y'all, so we are talking about using nets to find surface area. And the cool thing about surface area is that we technically have been doing this. So surface area is like finding the area of a surface. So like if you want to wrap the outside of a news or a Christmas present, or maybe you want to paint the surfaces of your walls. Maybe you were changing the color of your bedroom. All right, so that's where we use surface area. But in seventh grade, you're not finding it of three-dimensional shapes. You're finding it out of two-dimensional shapes. So all of these shapes can be turned into a three-dimensional shape, but it's been laid flat. Okay, so we literally smushed it down. Okay, so name the solid. How you name the solids are based on your bases. Well, all of my bases are squares, so this is a rectangular prism, or we call it a cube. Or a cube. That's the main name. All right, so identify the shape of the base. Well, the shape of the base is a square. And your bases are going to be labeled, all right? They're going to be highlighted, they're going to be shaded. And I want you to put a big capital B on your bases, right? So label the dimensions of the net. So what that means is that it's already been labeled right here. So if it's a square, all the sides are going to be 3. So this would be 3, this would be 3, and so on. So that's really important. So we're going to label all of our sides 3 centimeters. Okay, so yes, all the sides are 3 centimeters. So use centimeters as the unit. So that's what we did. So then it says find the area of each face and write it on the faces. Okay, so well, if it's an area of a rectangle or a square, we know we're going to be using base times height for each of them. Well, if they're both 3 times 3, well, 3 times 3 is just 9. So I know the area of each of my faces is going to be 9. So I'm going to put them in each of the faces and circle them. Okay, so I know that it's 9 centimeters for each. Okay, well, the total surface area is just that. The total surface area is all of the surfaces. So just like composite shapes, it's just 6 squares next to each other. So all you're going to do is add 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9, and then 9 plus 9 again. Or we can do repeated or multiplication, which is just 9 times the 6 faces, because they're all the same, which equals 54 centimeters squared. So that is the total surface area. All right, well, lateral surface area is add all except the bases. Well, remember we labeled our bases with the capital B. So what we have to do is we have to add all of the 9s that are not shaded. So that means I have 4 9s that are not shaded, or 4 faces that are not shaded. So I know I'm going to do 9 times 4 equals 36 centimeters squared. Or you could have done 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9. So to find the lateral, you can just do total minus the area of both bases. All right, so now the next one. Well, what is the shape that is shaded? That's a triangle. So this is, name the solid, it's a triangular prism. Identify the base. Well, it's in the name, so triangular prism. It's a triangle. So label the dimensions. Okay, well, if this is 4 centimeters by 3 centimeters, all the ones that are opposite of it will be 4 as well. So 4 centimeters, 4 centimeters, 4 centimeters. Okay, Well, this is 3 centimeters. What's opposite of it is also going to be 3 centimeters. And both of my bases are going to be the same. I have a height of 2 of my triangle and a base of 4. Okay, so now it says find the area of each face and write it on the faces. Okay, well, the rectangles are easy because it's just 4 times 3, which is 12, because it's just base times your height. Well, this one is 4 times 4, which that is 16. And with a rectangular prism or a triangular prism, there's going to always be the two opposite of each other, so not this one and this one. This one and the opposite one across are going to be the same. So it's going to be 4 times 3, which is 12. Okay, so then we have the two bases left. Well, to find the area of a triangle, remember it's 1/2 base times height. So I know I'm going to do 1/2 times 4, which is the base, times 2, which is the height. So now what I'm going to do is I can either say 4 times 2 is 8, divided by 2, because then I just multiply straight across, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. So I know both bases are 4. Alright, well the total surface area is adding all the sides together. So I have 2 12s plus 16 plus 4 plus 4. Okay, so 12 plus 12 is 24, plus 16 is 40, plus 8 is 48. So my total surface area is 48 centimeters squared. That's total. Okay, well remember, lateral surface area is everything but the bases. So I know I'm going to do 12 plus 16 plus 12, everything that's not shaded. Well, didn't we already do that? We did 24 plus 16, which got me 40. That's what I did first. So I know my answer is going to be 40 centimeters squared. Or you could have done 48 minus 8, because that was the area of both bases. And it got you the same answer. Perfect. So that's our cube, triangular prism. Now we're going to do a rectangular prism. Okay, well, why is this a rectangular prism? Because both of my bases are rectangles. So name that solid. A rectangular prism. Identify the shape of the base. It's in the name, so rectangles. A rectangle is the base. Okay, now we have to label the dimensions. Alright, so what you do first is you look to see what about this 4. So I go 4, and everything opposite is 4. Alright, so then the next thing is I look at my bases. Well, my bases are 4 by 3, so my other base has to be 4 by 3. Or you could count from one dot to the next. Okay, so then here I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so this has to be 5. And then this is 1, 2, 3, so this has to be 3, and these fold on top of each other. Well, this side is equal to this face, so I know this is 5 by 3. Alright, so the next part is find the area of each face and write it on the face. So rectangles are our friends. So you would do 4 times 5, which is 20. 4 times 3, which is 12. 4 times 5 again, which is 20. 5 times 3, which is 15. 5 times 3, which is 15. And then my two bases are the same, so I know that's going to be 12. Okay, so remember you want to label your bases with that capital B. That will help with volume. And now we need to find the total surface area. Well, remember, total is just adding all your faces together. So I look over there and I have two 20s plus two 15s plus two 12s. That's all of my faces, all 6 faces. And if you want, you can cross them out as you add them to make sure that you add all the faces for total. All right, so then you say, well, 20 plus 20 is 40, plus 15 plus 15 is 30, so that is 70, and then 12 plus 12 is 24. So my total is going to be 94 centimeters squared. Okay, well, what about the lateral surface area? Well, it's everything that's not shaded. So this would be a lateral, 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 lateral. So there's 4 sides that are lateral. Okay, so I've already added it. It's right here. It's my two 20s and my two 15s. So 20 plus 20 plus 15 plus 15. Well, that got me 70. So 70 centimeters squared. All right, so now that we have this rectangular prism done, we're going to flip it to the back. And we're going to look at our favorites, which these are called pyramids. Now, this is a pyramid because it has one base, okay? So it has one base, okay, one base, and then 4 lateral faces. I'm trying to get this in focus so you can see everything, but you can't really. So we're going to zoom out a little bit. Okay. So it says name the solid. So because it has one base, we know it's a pyramid. And because it is a square, we know it's going to be a rectangular pyramid or a square pyramid. So identify the shape of the base, a square. So you could technically call this a square pyramid. All right, then it says label the dimensions. Well, this is 4, then this is going to be 4. And then if this is 4, then this has to be 4, and then this has to be 4. Then what it's saying is all the triangles are going to be equal as well. So if this triangle has a height of 5, this triangle has a height of 5, and this triangle has a height of 5, this triangle has a height of 5. All right? So then it says find the area of each face and write it on the faces. Okay, well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. So I know I'm going to have 1/2 base times height. Well, my height, my base is 4, and my height is 5. So I'm going to do 4 times 5, which is 20. And then 2 times 1 times 1 is 2. So I know that the area, 20 divided by 2 is 10. So my area of all my triangles is 10. 10 centimeters squared. So you only have to find it once. So pyramids are your friends. All right. Well, then I have also that square base. So I know base times height is the formula. So it has to be 4 times 4, which is 16. All right. So the total surface area is, so remember, what is your base? Your base is what's shaded. So put a big B. So your total surface area is everything. So I have 4 10s, which 4 times 10 is 40, plus 16, which is your base, is 56 centimeters squared. All right, but then lateral surface area is everything but the base. So if we label it big B, it's everything that's not labeled that, capital B, area of your base. So that just means I'm adding the triangles, which 10 times 4 gets you 40 centimeters squared. Because I just did 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, because those were all the lateral faces. Okay, so last one, number 5. Number 5 is what we call a triangular pyramid. It's a triangular pyramid because the shape of the base is a triangle and there's only one base that's shaded. So label that big or capital B, and this is what I'm labeling it, a B. So then it says find the area of each face and write it on the faces. Well, guys, if one triangle is labeled 4 and with a height of 4, that means all my triangles will be labeled that, a 4 by 4 triangle. So now it says find the area of each face and write it on the faces. So if I know that one triangle is going to be the formula 1/2 base times height, that's the triangle, I know all 4 of them are going to be that. So I'm going to do 1/2 times 4 times 4. Well, 4 times 4 is 16. 2 times 1 times 1 is 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So that means each triangle face, area of the face, is going to be 8. So total would just be 8 times 4, or 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, which is 32 centimeters squared. Okay, well remember, lateral surface area is everything that is not labeled capital B, or everything but the base. So there's 3 lateral faces. So I know I'm going to do 8 plus 8 plus 8, or 8 times 3, which is 24 centimeters squared. All right, y'all, so what's going to happen is you're going to try and do these 3 examples on your own. You're going to use my examples to help you. Try and do them on your own. Don't just sit there and do nothing. Try your best. Awesome.